So since SPX Pump, there are more and more successful wallets that we can look at and track and understand and learn from the secret to meme coins and how to actually make millions of these meme coins in this bull market. And another proof that this is possible. This wallet here went from 7K, 7.5K to 1.5 million. It's this wallet here, right? If we copy this wallet, copy address, right? And we go to SPX on deck screener. So just to make sure that everyone know that this is the exact wallet, this wallet turned, as you can see here, 7.5K, and it holds so far $1.5 million worth of SPX, right? Token SPX. This is the holders, and this wallet just effectively now holds $1.5 million worth of SPX. How did this wallet do it, and what is the secret to actually making it? As you can see here, guys, this is perfectly possible. We're starting to see more and more of these, and it is very important that you as well know what's going on so that you can take advantage of this opportunity that is the crypto space and how to play this game right. So first of all, what is the secret to meme coin, right? This is possibly like the most important thing here, and for some reason it is very simple, and I'm gonna go through it here. Some of you are gonna like the secret, some of you are gonna have some awakening. Is pump.fun the way to go, right? Pump.fun, can you actually turn 7K to $1.5 million with pump.fun, which is, for those that do not know, it's a website where everybody in the world, even your cat and your dog and your grandma, can launch a meme coin on Solana, and people come in, start buying it, right? That's the thing. 99% of pump.fun coins never go anywhere. They all rug. They never do anything substantial. 99% chance, 99.99999% chances you will lose money on pump.fun, right? But can you actually make money off pump.fun? Possibly, yes, right? So that's why people love it. People love pump.fun because they have this impression that they can make money off pump.fun. Maybe you can make $100, $200, $300, whatever. Depends what people want to do, right? Some people want to throw one sol, which is like $150, and turn it into 10 sols, which is considered a big win in the Solana verse, right? 10 sol, which is $1,000, $1,500, maybe $2,000 if you hold your Solana till the bull market. And is it an effective way? Completely no. This is not the right way. If you see yourself on pump.fun or trying to, even one day you wake up and you have this idea of doing a pump.fun thing, just know you are now on the wrong path, right? You just know you're about to lose all your money and you're done. The only way to actually make pump.fun money is by launching your own fund, pump.fun, right? And you're gonna have to, I don't know, build a Twitter page and get people involved and DM people and whatnot, and then dump on those people, right? It's unethical. Nothing about pump.fun is good at all, right? Nothing about pump.fun is there, right? The only people that make pump.fun money on pump.fun is the people that launch the coins and try spamming them everywhere and dump as soon as they get their chance sold, they rug it. So that's not the way. Should you do the short term, which is something some people like to do, right? Should you do the short term? Now, the short term is a game that you can play if you do have a lot of money. So let's say, what is the short term here? So let's take Turbo, for example, right? Now, let's say you missed the whole pump on Turbo, right? And you noticed something I noticed a long time ago is that whenever a meme coin or any crypto for that matter reaches a strong hype pump, which I call the hype pump, is that the pump that generates most of the hype and most of the people talking about some coin, usually counts as a hype pump, and it sends it to a high crazy market cap. Let's say SPX here, right, went to 800 million. Turbo went to 600 something, 700 million, almost here. What the short term play on this would be is wait for the 70% retracement, right? 70% retracement. And I remember when I made a video about that, and as well I shared it on my Twitter, link in the description to follow me as well on there. But basically, what is the short term play on here? Because I seen Turbo gathering a lot of hype and getting a lot of attention, a lot of eyes, a lot of people joining it, and it started looking pretty decent for a short term play. I know that usually it retraces 70%, then we see a nice bounce back up and I could shoot for a 3 to 4x to 5x move. Now, that's something I did with Turbo, right? And how I can capitalize on making this kind of money with Turbo is by having already a lot of money, right? So you cannot do this with $7,000, $10,000, or $50,000, maybe $50,000 or $100,000 minimum, just to make it kind of risk to reward would be a bit interesting, right? So to me, I would throw 6 figures on this, knowing that I can make a 3x because I know this kind of plays. And whenever I see those kind of pullback, 70% pullbacks on these super hyped up meme coins or coins, or for that matter, I do throw in some very decent money in them and wait for a 3x, 4x, which is like, let's say if I put 100k, that's over 300k in profits, right? 300k in profits, that's a short-term play. Now, if you have $1,000 or $10,000 and you do go for this type of plays, what you're doing is you are not gonna make so much money. If you put $1,000 on this, you're gonna make $3,000, right? And your energy would be spent doing the wrong thing here, because for you, 3,000 going from 1,000 to 3,000 is not much of an increase in your portfolio. It's not gonna really help you in the future. It's not gonna do much. Even 10,000 to 50,000, even if you do a 5x, right, on something like that, it's not gonna help you that much, right? 10,000 to 50,000, knowing that this move actually took a long time, right? This move actually, well, I remember when I started DCAing into this here after a 70% drop, this actually took around 100 days of waiting, right? This is short term. 100 days, you're waiting for that 3 to 5x on something like Turbo, while you could be missing out on something on the midterm or the long term, which is much more rewarding, and which is more something like what the SPX wallet here did, from 7k to 1 million to 1.5 million dollars in its market cap. So it's a lot about opportunity cost and what you are missing on and what you are not missing on in these markets. So, and this example, for those that are interested into the short-term plays, if you do have a decent portfolio and you want to be playing the short-term plays, the secret to that is very simple, and I've done it few times to actually now think of it as an edge in the market and something that could be used in this bull market. Going into this bull market, this only counts, right? I know some people get confused when they hear this strategy. This only counts for coins that had very nice pump to over $500 million in its market cap. I repeat that, right? Because people think they can do that with a $1 million market cap coin. That only works with a 500 plus market cap coin that generated a nice hype. Something like what SPX did right now, that would be perfect for it. Now, if it drops 70%, once it does that, which is gonna put it around $250 million in its market cap, then it's gonna make for a very decent short-term play from 250 to actually maybe 1 billion or something. This is gonna be another 5x in here. I've done this as well with Pepe back in the days when Pepe got listed on Binance. The same thing happened to it. It dropped actually 70 or 80%. That's the pump. That's the drop we've seen here. It took actually a long time from that as well. From the time it dropped, it took around 150 days to actually see a 20x. It was a decent play, to be honest with you. We've seen the same thing with Breton Base. Did the exact same thing. And I remember as well, I shared that one on my Twitter. And it was the same thing here with Breton Base. So Breton Base went around $800 million in its market cap and went as low as it did a 70% drop. So these are our weekly candles. So this was this weekly candle here that did the 70% drop. It did the same thing, right? For a short-term play, it took around 40 days to 50 days for it to actually bounce back up and make a new high, which was a 6x move. These are all good short-term plays that we can take advantage of. But once again, you cannot take advantage of these kind of moves when you have $1,000 or $10,000, right? These are more for people that have 100,000 and more like a substantial, like a 6 figures or close, right? Something like 70k maybe or more, something close, because to make it worth your time, and those don't happen very often, right? So in this whole 2023-2025 year, these kind of plays were like 4 to 5 plays, right? We had just maybe 4 to 5 plays like that. It doesn't happen that often, right? So when people look at the short term, they think I can be doing this every day. You cannot actually do short-term plays every day, because they do not happen every day, right? They do happen maybe 4 to 5 times a year, and you have to know what you're doing. You have to actually study the market and know the charts and actually see things like hype and stuff like that. So when it comes to that, a lot of people take this wrong and they lose money when they go to this short-term play, because they think they can repeat the same results with everything else, right? You can do short-term every day. In fact, like the best short-term thing to do is to actually day trade Bitcoin. Not even day trade it, but I do actually take once a week a trade on Bitcoin. Those are much more safer. But again, this is also leverage, which is more high risk, and you need to actually have some experience trading. It is not easy for anybody to do that, and you need to already have millions. The same thing with the short-term thing. You already need to have 100K to actually make $1 million from the short-term plays. Mid-term, right? Mid-term is something just like the short-term, but you are holding for a bit longer. Let's say with Turbo here, right? Instead of playing a short-term, you waited for that 70% drop, you got into the low, and then now instead of selling now after a 3 to 5x, you're actually waiting for longer, right? Because you like the asset, you maybe believe it's gonna go even higher, and you want to do a 10x on it instead of just a 5x, which also is gonna take much longer. That's why it's mid-term. It's gonna take much longer. It still requires as much money as the short-term thing, but instead of you being busy trying to find the next short-term, you're just sticking with one that's gonna do maybe a 10x on your 100K to actually make $1 million. So that's what a mid-term thing is. Now, most people fall in this long-term category, right? Most people don't have $100,000. Most people don't have a $50,000, right? Most people fall into the range of having 10,000, 20,000, 1,000, 5,000 or less. So most people actually fall under the long term, and this example here is perfect for most people. And that's the secret that a lot of people don't like today, is the long term, right? People would do anything today just to avoid long term, right? Because most people come into the space and they want to get rich quick, and that's the problem. And one more thing, with people with only $700, let's say, that want to turn it into 150K or 1 million, 10x from here, this wallet is gonna have 10 million or $15 million worth of SPX, which is gonna make it go from 7.5K to $15 million. So without touching anything, without doing anything, without looking at the charts, without making any other trades, without doing none of that, just by holding one single coin. So that's what can long term do, and most people don't like to do that, right? Most people hate the term long term. Most people, what they do is they go to Dex Screener or pump.fun or whatever, and all they want to do is find a 2x, right, or a 5x, which is even harder, right? It's very hard to find a 5x the same day you're looking, or to find an actual 5x, right? Even 2x is pretty hard, because you could be the same day you could be buying that coin that's gonna do the 2x, but then the next day you wake up and then you see another coin and then you sell that coin to buy the other one. So the chances are there, right? For even for people that are looking just for a 5x, the chances are there, but the patience is not there, right? Which is a very important factor as well. So what is the secret to long term? What should you be looking at here? What should you do if you want to replicate the same results, right? I did that with Floki, so I'm going to talk from experience how I did that with Floki, and it's simple. Floki was an obvious winner, right? Because we had very few meme coins back in the days, and Bitcoin just went crazy down, right? It was around here. We just ended the bear market. People started buying Bitcoin. I started buying Bitcoin ETH and others. But then I was like, meme coins last cycle were pretty strong right around here. We had Shiba Inu, we had Floki, we had a lot of meme coins back in the days that made crazy amount of numbers. So in my mind, I was like, this Floki chart looks pretty bottomed. So if we look at the Floki chart, it just looked like that. This is the Floki chart December 2022, right? This is right around when I started buying it. It looks pretty bottomed back then. If you like, let's just hide all that. If you just look at it just from this perspective, right? Just look at it from this perspective. It looks like, right, we had this run. This is also the Bybit chart. So also that's one of the reasons why I bought it, because it was on exchanges and it stayed on exchanges while we had a bear market. So it went for a year basically going down, and it was pretty bottomed. You can see that each time it went here, there was a kind of a bounce. So I was like pretty safe. I'm just gonna DCA this, we never know. And it went crazy, right? It went crazy from $10 million market cap to where it is right now, 1.5. At some point it was close to 2 billion, right? And it went crazy. Now, should you buy Floki now? No, you're late. So that's the main thing. Like, if I just logged in today and I just, for whatever reason, I just came back to the crypto space and I see Floki, even if I liked it in 2022, I wouldn't buy it today, right? And it wouldn't be fair for me to even tell anyone to buy Floki today, right? Because it's not gonna do much. Even though I'm still holding it, to me a 2x on Floki here is gonna make me much more gains than anybody investing buying here today, because I'm from the low, right? And that's the secret. is that you want to be early, right? When you are doing the long-term thing, which is the thing that most people should be doing as well, because we're still early in the cycle, you want to be early. I cannot emphasize that enough, is you want to be early, and that's what most people don't like, right? That's what most people don't like. That's they just follow the herd. They follow the trends and they follow the herd. So if you go to top meme coins today, whatever is pumping today is their favorite, right? It's BONK is pumping today, it's my favorite meme coin, right? I remember when BONK was hyped up on YouTube and everybody loved it. How dare you tell them it's time to sell BONK, right? It was how can you tell us that? Or Myro, or any coin that you remember previously that was super loved, or Cat coin or whatever. People, most of them bought the top on that, and then they sold the bottom, and then they went to buy the next hyped up one. People don't like to buy early for some reason. If you can just change this, one simple thing is don't follow the herd. The thing is, you always want to aim to be early if you are going to do the long-term thing, because it is actually possible to turn few $100s or few $1,000s to millions. And the only way is, you can see this guy here got in very early, right? This guy here got in very early and kept holding his bag. That's what he did. That's the key secret. He got in early. So he bought first at $4 million market cap, then he bought again at $25 million market cap. Did not panic sell. This is very important. It's crazy to see, right? Went from 24 million to 1 million and did not panic sell. He should have just bought more, but probably did not have enough money. But as you can see, it paid out at the end. So you want to be early first. That's very important. Number one is you want to be early, right? Number two is you actually have to find the coin. That's the hardest part, is that you actually have to find the coin. So what we know today about meme coins is, to make it simple and to make it easy to find, it is very hard to find a meme coin that is gonna do what SPX did, or what Pepe did, or what Shiba Inu did, or what Dogwifhat did, or what BONK or Floki did, or Popcat. This is the hardest part, but for most people, the hardest part is actually hold, right? That's the hardest, because they are gonna go and buy some other shit coin, the hottest shit coin of the day. So the second hardest after actually holding is finding the coin. So there are a few key things to keep to really be looking at. Those are the things that are gonna put most of the odds in your favor, because this is still, you're still just gathering the best odds when you're playing this, right? The thing is, you want to always be on ETH, right? There are gonna be winners on Solana, on Base, on Optimism, on Arbitrum, on any layer you think about today, on Kaspa. Now recently we've seen people talking about Kaspa meme coins, whatever, right? They're gonna be always meme coins. The best meme coins, the best odds are always on ETH, right? The data said that meme coins on ETH hold stronger. We see meme coins on ETH almost every month. We see a meme coin on ETH running to crazy numbers. We've seen SPX, we've seen Turbo, we've seen Nero CTO as well recently on ETH pumping. So you get much more odds. Like for every one Solana meme coin that makes a big run like Popcat, you get 3 or 4 or 5 on ETH that do the same. So the odds on ETH are always better. So you always want to be on ETH, right? The second thing is you want to be looking for a strong narrative. That's key, right? The narrative is key to make it long-term enough, right? Because when you're buying today, you're buying for the next year, or you're not buying for today. You're buying the narrative that's going to be here in a year. So that's what the guy here did, right? What this guy did here is he invested $7,500, knowing that this narrative, actually, this was even a harder pick, because S&P 6900, this coin wouldn't pump if it wasn't for Murad, that crypto guy that recently got viral for talking about meme coins. If it wasn't for that guy, if that guy never existed, this coin would probably not pump, right? So this is an actual individual narrative here, but the narratives that we can pick today from what we have now that can exist in a year from now and stay and be sustainable and pump in a bull market are very few coins that are related to that. So you got your dogs, right? Very obvious. You got your Dogecoin, your Shiba Inu, your Dogwifhat, your BONK, your Floki. Anything related to dogs usually does very well. This is a strong narrative. The only problem with the dog coins is that there are too many, right? There are millions, a lot of them. Even on ETH, there are too many. So it makes it hard to put the odds on your favor on your picks. Whatever coin you're gonna pick, it's gonna be very hard. So recently, I actually picked up on Nero CTO very early, at around $2 million in its market cap, right below that. The only reason I picked it up is because Nero is the name of the new dog the Dogecoin lady has now, right? So her previous Dogecoin died, the dog that is on the picture here died, and now she has a new one, and there was Nero. Now why I picked up this one, because there is another Nero that was a Cabal coin. you should be very careful at how to spot these because they don't last. The second narrative we have this cycle besides the dogs is the Pepe verse, right? These are the two distincts. We do have cats, but cats as well, like dogs, are too many of them. That's the thing. There are too many of them. At least with the dog and Nero, we have a second narrative or something to actually spice up the dog narrative is that it's the second Dogecoin. It's the new Doge, the dog name, right? The lady with the dog. It's her new dog's name, Nero. So we do have actually a narrative that adds up to the dog being just another dog coin. So Pepe verse is the second narrative. Anything that looks like Pepe or Pepe relatives and stuff like that, like other names in the Boys Club narrative, even if people now are overdoing it, right? I don't know why people are trying to grab as much money as possible from retail, and we're seeing a lot of these new launches that look like Pepe or like Pepe verse, or they claim to be some new character. You want to be careful with those, right? That's the first thing you want to do. Those are not going to be most likely long term, or at least you want to be waiting for some time until they cool off, right? The only actually blue chip or next one that you're still early on is Breath on Ease, and these are the narratives you got today. You got your dogs, you got your flow, you got your cats, and you got your Pepes, right? Those are the ones you want to be looking at. You do have now a new generation of narrative, which is now what SPX is about, right? You do have that. Now, I've seen a story on Twitter last time. Funny enough, like short-term traders and gamblers, they get wrecked all the time. SPX, right, started pumping, and you can bet what happened. The cabal came out, the scammers came out, all these kind of I'm gonna launch the next one kind of thing came out. They launched some coins that are relatively close in some term of like this is the next one, right? Or this is the next thing. Obviously guys, this will always happen. So that's something you want to be always mindful of, is that there is always people out there trying to get your money, always, right? And the main way to avoid these problems is by not buying new launches. It's very simple. I don't understand why people love to buy new launches. You get hyped up. There was a meme coin season. I made a video and I said there's gonna be a meme coin season. That also means be careful. There are gonna be a lot of new launches trying to grab your money, trying to rug you. Regardless, people still went on and gambled, right? So you see this DXY. DXY is the USD index. If you go here, there is the S&P. For those that do not know, S&P is the stock market, the US stock market, S&P 500. So let's put all here. You got the SPX, right? SPX 500 or S&P 500 is the US stock market. The DXY is the US dollar index, right? The US dollar currency index. What people did, scammers and cabals trying to rug people, they went ahead and they launched a coin called DXY because the other one is called SPX. And you guessed it, a lot of people fall victim for that. So they bought it at $7 million in its market cap. Now it's 700K, right? Congrats, right? Anybody that bought this, congratulations, you officially got rugged. But that's what happened when you don't do your research, you don't understand what this is all about, what this is all made of. And if you fall for this category here, for short term or even midterm, you are set to fail. And it's more risky than long term, even if people don't like to hear that, but long term is very important. Now, second thing is narrative. I'm gonna have to add it here, but what you need to understand, just so we come up to that DXY thing, is whenever there's gonna be a narrative, because now we have a new narrative, SPX 69. That's a strong narrative, don't get me wrong. Maybe especially if the SPX 500 ends up, the SPX 69 goes to, I don't know, 5 billion, 10 billion, ends up getting listed on Binance or something like that. It's definitely gonna create a narrative, but you don't never wanna, whenever there is a new narrative, you never wanna jump onto hot launches. Never. And that's very important. Something you have to keep in mind. So this coin launched one day, so 4 days in a row. So first day as well, 4 million in volume. Who are you? Who is buying 4 million at launch and launching at a high cap 3 million? Then it kind of looks organic, but still too much volume in this decline here. Keep in mind as well, a lot of people are going to be talking about volume now. Volume only on new launches. If you see a coin that is already established with a lot of volume, it's very normal. A new launch with a lot of volume, not normal. Okay, education. So what do you see here? This coin went to 8 million rug. Why? Because they officially took advantage of the narrative and they rocked it. Now in the future, right? In the future, we are gonna see better coins in this narrative. We don't know. Maybe you're gonna have to do your own research. I'm gonna do my own research. Maybe this narrative is gonna be strong at some point. But the point is, if you are the kind the type of guy that you see yourself, whenever there is a new narrative, you want to jump right into it, you are gonna lose money. It is 99.9999% certain that you are gonna lose money whenever there is a new narrative. That's why we stick with what we know. Yeah, there is that one unicorn out of 1 million meme coin on that same day, on that same narrative that you found. Maybe that one coin is gonna do the 100x, but 99.999 you will lose. So it's just impossible. Don't do that. Don't go for new launches. Wait for the charts to form. Wait for them to do something. At least a month, right? At least any coin should be at least like a month or 2 months old to actually see a community forming, to see the charts looking good and healthy, and people are standing behind it, and it's actually doing something, and it's actually on a strong narrative, right? So for now we have Pepe's Pepe narrative, we have we've had dogs, let's say, we have cats, and we possibly are entering now this SPX stock market kind of thing, right? Stock market kind of fun way to make fun of, let's say, the financial system. So that's important. You get your being early, narrative, and believe or patience, right? So this is gonna be the hardest for anybody here joining, but I'm gonna try to make it as simple as possible. Believe, and patience. That's very important. Let's go back to Floki here. How long have I been holding Floki for now? So let's say December, January 2023. This been around 600 days, right? 600 days, guys. Almost 2 years. Do you think I'm looking at it? Sometimes, right? Sometimes I go to my larger holdings account and I just look at it, but I'm not really checking it because I know this thing is gonna pump. This thing is destined, right? You are too late, by the way. You are too late to it, but I know I'm from a decent entry around 10 to 20 million dollar market cap. I know still this thing got like 2 to 3 to 5x maybe if I'm lucky, right? And I'm still patient. I'm still patient with a lot of coins that I'm holding, with Pepe, with BONK from 100 million, right? I do hold Breton ETH as well. I do hold a lot of these coins, and I'm just waiting because I know the bull market is coming, and I know these coins are gonna be in the billions, right? Most of them. The only coins you're gonna be early at are the coins below 100 million, potentially better that they are below 100 million. Breton ETH is around $27 million. It's the lowest, kind of strongest coin now, right? And patience and believe, right? For people, it's hard to believe, but I'm trying to do my best. Most importantly is like what you really need to understand is what you need to believe on is a bull market, right? This is what we all believe in, literally. Like we're all here just believing that this is gonna happen, right? And it's been good so far, right? It's been good so far. If you look at the Bitcoin price and Bitcoin chart and you're wondering where we are at today, we're here, right? We're around here. So right before this parabola move happens. So give or take, we got like maybe 6 months to a year of a true raging bull market. Today, most people should pray that Bitcoin is gonna range for a while here. If you are not allocated, if you are now already allocated, you have your bags. I know I'm in that situation as well, but we got some people that are on the sidelines now, still watching, right? Wishing like, I can't wait for my salary to come or whatever. They wish they could raise more capital to buy the dips and stuff like that. So those people are actually gonna be in the biggest disadvantage right now if we start pumping now. If we start pumping now, because like the higher we go, the less better entries you got, and the early part is gonna get pretty hard, like being early, right? We're gonna keep running the show here on this channel. I'm gonna be finding gems. I'm gonna do my best to find gems and all that stuff. But as we go, the higher we go, the further we progress in this bull market, is gonna be very hard to find new gems. It is gonna be hard. And what we really want to be looking at is this others, right? Others, it represents all cryptocurrencies besides the top 10. And what we notice here, guys, is each time this thing breaks previous all-time high, like you can see here, each time it breaks the previous all-time high, it goes nuts, right? It goes crazy. And it went and did another from all-time high. It did around a 6x from the all-time high. We're not counting from the low. From the low, it did an actual 34x. So from where we are now, from the low, it's the same kind of range. This is gonna do maybe a 10x, right? Now this is the total market cap of the whole cryptos, right? So some coins are gonna do 10 billion, some coins will only do 100 million, but collectively they're gonna all go 10x from here. Collectively, even the shittiest coin ever out there is gonna do a 10x. That's what this means. So the higher this goes, the less of a better entry you have, the less of a good entry you have, the higher it goes, right? And as soon as it breaks all-time high, this is when it's gonna shoot up and everything is gonna reprice to crazy numbers, and we're gonna go into crazy valuations for all these coins. So that's what I am believing on. That's what my patience is based on, and I'm waiting for this to actually play out and actually increase my portfolio by a large amount, right? So So that's what we're playing for. Once you find your gems, all you gotta have to do is patience and believe and wait for that thing to happen and play out. So that's how a wallet turned $7,500 into $1.5 million and potentially $15 million and even more. It all comes down to finding a strong coin in a good narrative, being early, below 100 million, believe, and patience. That's all. That's literally it. That's about it, right? So this guy actually bought it around $25 million market cap. One more bullish thing you can add onto your research is like when you're finding a low cap coin, let's say 50 million or below, you want to see if the team is actually delivering or the community is they're delivering on what they are saying or on their promises, and if they're actually doing something, right? Sometimes you want to see a coin doing something and moving and building up. Like Breton 8 right now is on few exchanges like Bitmart, Biconomy, and DGFinex and other pools. Those are the things you want to see on a low cap because you know the actual thing is long term. So this actually adds up because a lot of people look for exchange listings and stuff like that. Exchange listings do actually solidify the long-term viability of a coin. So anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. As usual, thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching it till the end, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.